Behold his love. Under the guise of justice. When Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but that instead an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd. "I am innocent of this man's blood," he said. "It is your responsibility." All the people answered, "Let his blood be on us and on our children." Then he released Barabbas to them, but he had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified. Matthew 27:24-26. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. Psalm 90, verse 8. Pilate ordered the flogging of Jesus, so the responsibility was his. It is deeply disconcerting to see that self-interest prompted his decision. At all costs, he wanted to avoid criticism and save his own skin. He didn't care what happened to Jesus, so long as no one found fault with him. Pilate was obviously trying to prove to himself and the public that he had done his best to rescue Jesus. Flogging may have been a last resort to avoid crucifying him. Pilate would have been aware that flogging often proved fatal. Such an outcome would conveniently let him off the hook. If Jesus died, then officially it would not be Pilate's fault because he had not pronounced the death penalty. It would have been merely a mishap for which the soldiers were responsible. Washing our hands of responsibility can implicate us in serious wrongdoing. Are we guided in our decisions by the desire to appear above suspicion? If so, we may end up doubly guilty. By his indecisiveness, Pilate actually prolonged Jesus' torture. First the flogging, and then, when he saw no other way out of his predicament, the crucifixion. We are only deluding ourselves if we won't face up to ulterior motives. On the surface, we may be good Christians, but still it is all about us and not Jesus. Our priorities are not loving him, living for him, and bringing him joy. We may say all the right things, have all the right ideas, and yet in God's sight they are not right because they stem from an evil root. Our motives are wrong. It was this hypocritical attitude that was to blame for the flogging of Jesus. To this day, we wound his heart when we act in the same way. Heaven bows itself in wonder. Angels, awestruck, veiled their sight. Weep, O heavens, put on mourning, darkened be your radiant light. God's own Son is bound for flogging, stripped and naked to the post. There the cruel stripes await him, on his way to shameful death. Patient as a lamb he suffers, bears their anger, quiet and still. Humbly he submits to scourging, lets them use him as they will, hides his face all marred by torment of the body, mind and soul. Yet from every wound inflicted pours his love to make us whole.